Hi, Recapped Mystery Films here. Today, I am going to explain the 2020 French horror sci-fi movie called Meander. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. A girl is captured and placed in a futuristic tunnel filled with several dangerous traps. Will she survive, or will the traps eventually kill her? Let's find out. The movie begins with a woman laying in the center of the road while a car approaches. She wakes up and walks to the side before the car reaches her. After crossing her, the car stops up a few feet away, and the man inside calls out, offering her a lift. They introduce themselves as Lisa and Adam after some awkward pause. Discussing their personal lives, we find Lisa working as a waitress and Adam working as a night watchman. He has a cross tattooed on his hand, which Lisa notices. When they talk, Lisa discloses that her daughter Nina died on the same day, and that today would have been her 9th birthday. She confesses that she had been depressed and had attempted suicide. Lisa switches on the radio after a time and hears a report about a man who has murdered 2 people. The report describes a white man with a cross tattoo on his right hand and short hair. Lisa realizes that all of the description of the murderer matches with Adam. It seems to be a scary position to be in. When she looks at Adam, he slams the brakes, throwing Lisa against the dashboard, and the whole scene blacks out. In the following scene, Lisa wakes up in a tiny chamber with strange lights on the walls and no way out. She looks to be wearing a bizarre body-hugging outfit and a strange watch-like gadget on her wrist that emits a yellow light. She cries in terror and confusion when she discovers no way out. A door glides open after a moment, revealing a tiny tunnel-like entrance with an exit at the end. Lisa enters the tunnel, and the door closes behind her. The gadget on her wrist sounds an alert, and a timer momentarily lights on it, indicating an 11-minute countdown. In the beginning, Lisa crawls through the tunnel, and everything is going well, but she notices a section of the wall moving, narrowing the tunnel. She, however, manages to squeeze through the narrow passage. Later, she reaches a chamber containing colorful light and a platform that begins to slowly rise and almost crushes her against the ceiling. She escapes the floating platform with very little time to spare. At the moment, the timer displays that 5 minutes of the time is remaining. She moves forward, discovering a rotting body blocking her way that falls apart as she tries to move it aside. The corpse appears as if the person is burnt to death. Continuing crawling, the path in front of her closes suddenly. The device on her wrist glows red, displaying a timer of 1 minute remaining. The walls are suddenly lined with tubes that appear to be heating up, and a section of the wall behind her opens. The space is just enough, providing her ample space to fit in. A glass barrier closes her in the section. As soon as the timer is off, glass flames fill the hallway, passing right beside her. When the fire is over, the section she is hiding in starts to narrow down. The timer on the device again sets the countdown of 11 minutes. After that, she finds a section that is flooding with water, leaving her very little room to breathe. She gives her full effort to swim to the next chamber. While she is resting between her attempts, she eventually hears a man calling out for help. Hearing the voice, she is excited and moves forward. On her way, he notices an acid pit with only a thin ledge on either side to crawl along. Despite being careful, she gets her knee dipped in the acid, causing her severe pain. Soon, she again finds herself trapped behind a barrier. The man who is yelling is also trapped behind another barrier in front of her. They have an open stretch of tunnel between them. The man is plainly insane. His hair is long and he has a beard, indicating that he has spent a long period in this spot. A part of the tunnel between them opens up, with fire tubes along the walls, and both of their barriers lift at the same moment, forcing them to sprint to the safe spot before the other. Lisa takes the upper hand after a scuffle and forces the man back into the tunnel. As the countdown finishes, the glass barrier comes crashing down, slicing his device-attached arm. When the flames fill the tunnel, she notices a tattoo of a cross on the hand and realizes it was Adam who was burnt alive. She then passes out inside the section. In the next scene, Lisa wakes up in the same safe space. A skull-like thing, attached to a mechanical tentacle, appears from the ceiling and heals her wounds. After that, it then attaches a tube to a part of her suit, and Lisa experiences flashbacks of Adam attacking her with a knife, her being stabbed and falling from the car, and a strange light in the sky. The safe space then pushes Lisa out of it. She leaves the safe space and takes Adam's arm with her. She examines it thoroughly and notices 3 markings: a diamond, a cross, and a diamond underneath the device attached to it. Before she can decipher the clues of the markings, suddenly a spinning blade appears in front of her, forcing her to move quickly backwards towards a tunnel. The blade cuts Adam's hand into pieces, while Lisa narrowly escapes into a tunnel above. As Lisa moves forward, a strange creature crawls into the tunnel with her. "Oh!" The creature made me gasp. It begins to chase her until she crawls through a small section of the tunnel that it cannot fit through. It appears to be human, but badly burned. Its eyes are white and glossed over. It's missing an arm, hinting that it is Adam. She continues crawling through the suffocating passage and comes to a section with 2 tunnels to choose from. Remembering the markings on Adam's arm, she tries to work out which to take. Suddenly, she hears a humming sound, which appears to be of her daughter's. She chooses the left and follows the voice into a bright white room where she can now stand. The room is filled with a projection showing images of her life, from herself as a baby looking up at her father, to seeing her daughter fall to her death from a window when she tries to reach out for her toy. The burned Adam creature appears above her and descends into the room and chases her through a tunnel. At the end of the tunnel is a bright cloudy sky, but the tunnel itself is lined with razor-sharp wire. With no choice but to push forward to escape the creature, Lisa forces her way through the wires, badly injuring herself. Finally, she cannot move just feet from escape. Fire tubes appear from the walls, a safe space opens up, which the creature rolls into, and Lisa closes her eyes, thinking that it's all over now, and waits to die. Just before the flames hit, the floor opens up, and she falls to safety. She wakes up in the same room she started in. Badly injured, she seems to have given up on her life, and writes down the symbol she had seen in blood on the wall for someone else to find after her. The skull from earlier appears from the ceiling and begins to heal her wounds, persuading her to try again. Lisa tells it that she wants to die as she wipes the symbols from the wall. As the skull is about to inject, seemingly to euthanize her, Lisa notices she has only partially wiped the symbols. She begins deciphering it and finds that it is not 2 diamonds and a cross. She rather finds the symbols to be 6 arrows, indicating directions to take in her journey. She tells the skull to stop and asks it to heal her wounds. After that, she sets out again on the mission. She easily passes the same obstacles as before, this time knowing how to overcome them. When she reaches the acid pit, she burns off the clasp of her wrist device and discovers her own set of markings underneath: 2 crosses and a diamond, telling her which directions to take. The strange creature begins to give her a chase again. As Lisa reaches the split in the tunnel, she throws her removed device down one tunnel to lure the creature. Lisa appears to be more clever than I expected. After realizing that she threw the device in the right direction, she enters the tunnel after the monster is gone. At the end of the passage, she notices some strange entrance. She comes across a strange biological door that leads into a womb-like room. She crawls inside through the bloody and sticky entrance and moves forward to examine the walls. As she touches the walls, strange creatures, possibly aliens, can be seen moving on the other side of the walls of the womb. She feels delighted and instantly connected to the strange figure. She follows the strange creature into the next room, where she notices her wrist device on the floor, dropped from the ceiling. She also notices the creature stuck in a door ahead of her. She slowly retrieves the device, but it sets off an alarm, starting a countdown of 60 seconds. This rouses the creature, and it gives her a chase again. They move into a tunnel that again the passage lines the walls with fire tubes. Lisa escapes into the safe section, and the glass falls down. My girl tries to be cool with the middle finger upright, but this time the flames don't appear, and the monster is safe and sound. The glass barrier opens again, and she is then pushed back out of the tunnel with the creature. She wrestles with it, placing her foot on its head as the wall presses them both into the main tunnel. She manages to crush its head against the wall, killing it. Afterwards, we see Lisa moving forward to the last passage, which she needs to turn right according to the markings. As she is about to enter the right opening, her daughter Nina appears from the left one. Nina talks with Lisa as if she wants her to feel guilty. Later, she leads her down to the wrong path. Lisa realizes her daughter is not real and tells her she has to leave another way. That's a tough call to make. After Lisa apologizes to her, the daughter hugs her, telling her, "I'm proud of you, Lisa. We all are," then disappears into her arms. Lisa crawls into one final tunnel with 3 blades falling consecutively at faster intervals. She also can see the skylight at the end of the tunnel. She calculates the timing of the blades and decides to move forward. The first is every 4 seconds and she makes it through. The second is every 3 and she gets by it. The third is every 2, which seems impossible. Just ahead is the exit with a bright blue sky. Determined, she forces herself to try and almost makes it, but her foot is sliced in half by the third blade. She crawls to the exit, weak with loss of blood, but smiling in pain, hoping that all her sufferings are now finally over. When she reaches the end of the tunnel, she finds it to be merely a screen with a video of the sky. She starts to scream and weep since she can't move and has nowhere to go. Lisa notices the tunnel filling with flame tubes and braces herself for death. The ceiling suddenly opens up and she floats upward into a dazzling light. She awakens on a ledge near the riverside beneath a beautiful blue sky. Her foot has also healed. Nina appears in front of her, watching the waterfalls. Lisa inquires as to if she has passed away. Nina informs Lisa that her body has died several times, but she is now safe. Lisa inquires as to what she is expected to perform in the place. "Live," Nina just replies. The camera moves up to see that they have arrived on a lovely extraterrestrial world. Lisa appears to have recently completed a test administered by the aliens in order to determine the most suitable individuals for their new world. That was my recap of the movie. Hope you enjoyed it. Now comment what your favorite part was, and make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, let us know what movie you want us to do next. Until next time, take care, and goodbye.